Hello, just good. Your Rick's back for another review, and I know I haven't been reviewing in a while, but this is my first The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug set review, and it's set number 79013. It's called Laketown Chase. It has 470 pieces, 5 minifigures, and it's recommended for ages 8 to 14, and it retails for $50 in the US. And I actually got this from Toys R Us today, and these are just releasing everywhere just about this week. So now let's take a look at the packaging. So here's the packaging for the set. I have to say, this is probably the best box this year for any sets, besides maybe the Back to the Future set. I think this is probably my favorite. So you'll see this at the end of the year because I'm going to be doing a huge top 10 list or something like that of my favorite stuff. And I'm also going to do my favorite boxes in the top 10 best sets or something like that. We'll see later. But just the design on this looks absolutely fantastic. I love the design of all of these Hobbit sets, but I did see the rest at Toys R Us today, and I think this one's the best. You can just see the background has some really awesome detail right there. There's the moon and everything. Then the side printing, which is on all the Hobbit sets, looks fantastic. And the back is just amazing. And it has a really nice glossy feel to it, even more so than some of the other, like Lord of the Rings and Hobbit sets. And that's kind of interesting. But yeah, that is it for that. And now let's take a look at the minifigures. I know I said let's look at the minifigures, but I forgot to say there are 2 instruction booklets. One's thin and then one's thick, and there's always interesting stuff in like new set instruction booklets. And for example, it says that Legolas and the Laketown Guard, which comes in the set, are going to be in a poly bag, which is really cool. And there's also an advertisement for the Hobbit video game, so that's really going to be really cool, the LEGO Hobbit, the video game. But there isn't an advertisement. I think it's only in the biggest set for the next wave of LEGO Hobbit sets, which just says the journey will conclude in 2014. So yeah, now let's take a look at the minifigures. And here is Bilbo. It's the same one as last year, so there's nothing really special here. He does come with the ring, and there are 3 rings in the set because you get 2 extra ones, and there's his back facial printing. And here is Thorin Oakenshield, and it is the same as last year, except he does have a different torso, and the torso printing is new and exclusive to the set, so that's pretty cool. And you can see the back. He has a double-sided face and then the little torso printing right there, which looks really, really cool looking. And here is Bard the Bowman. And Bard the Bowman is actually a really nice minifigure for one really important part, which is his hair. His hair is the same as the Qui-Gon Jinn hair, but this is the first time we've ever gotten it in black, which is kind of weird because the Qui-Gon Jinn hair has been out since, I believe, 1999. So that's kind of crazy. And you can see his torso print is very nice and detailed. He does come with a long bow or whatever. And the back of his face right there has a pretty cool double-sided face, and then he has a nice back torso printing. And here is the Laketown Guard, a very nice minifigure. He has a nice torso printing, nice leg printing, pretty cool facial printing, and the best part is probably his hat, which looks absolutely fantastic. Love the molding on there. It's a very peculiar mold. And the reason I say that is because you'll see, I'll take it off to show how much detail it has. You can see his back printing. He doesn't have a double-sided face for obvious reasons, because if he did, then it would show through his little hat. But you can see the hat right there. It just looks fantastic because you could just see the layers of mold. You have a printing right there, this mold right here, and then this part right here. So that is just really cool. And we are getting this in another set along with this minifigure, which is a polybag set. So we'll see how that turns out. And here's the Master of Laketown, and he is probably the best minifigure in this whole set, and he is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you thought that the last minifigure, the Laketown Guard, had the most detailed molding on his hat, then look at this guy. He has not only like 3 different parts right here, including the little plume which you attach on, he also has this hair piece right here, which is just awesome. And that's all one piece besides the plume. Like I said, you attach that on. And you can see his torso printing is absolutely fantastic. His facial printing, I'll show the other side. It looks really kind of weird, but it's accurate, because if you see how the Stephen Fry, which is the guy who plays him in the movie, looks in real life in this costume, he looks basically exactly like that. And you can see his cape is a double-sided cape, which is just awesome, because in the inside it's red, and in the outside it's black. So that's really cool. And he does come with a little key, which is nothing special. And if you take off his hat piece or whatever, his hat hair piece, you can see just the detail in there is just absolutely fantastic. And if you turn over his little cape on his torso, it reveals some really nice back printing. So that is really cool, and it's just overall fantastic minifigure. Love all the printing and everything. And here's the ship. I'll pan up later so you can see the top, but this is just a fantastic build. I really love how they made this one. It's kind of clever because you get two little boat pieces, and then they put a part in the middle that kind of connected it with this part right here. And I just thought that was really clever. And to cover it up so you don't see the space between there, they put this really nice printed shield on both sides. And I love the printing on there. And fun fact, in the instruction booklet, it shows an alternate printing where it's kind of turned like 90 degrees. But in this one, it's turned 90 degrees the other way. So the printing isn't exactly the same as it shows in the instruction booklet. But still, this is a very cool little vehicle right here. You got a little launching part with the catapults, which is kind of standard, but still pretty cool. A big barrel, and if you turn around this side, it's kind of basically the same. You see the shield that I was talking about on both sides, and you could fit basically Bilbo and Thorin, which is kind of what's intended. It's still kind of a tight space because there's not really much room on there, which is just a little minor complaint, but I understand why, because it just looks absolutely fantastic. And just stick Bilbo right there. You gotta push sword up. And there you go. Maybe you could squeeze like 2 or 3 more minifigures on there. And let me pan up, but you can just see the detail on here is absolutely fantastic. The top part right here, which of course falls off. I don't like using these strings because this string would keep on falling off, so that's just a little minor flaw. And this detail right here is absolutely like really awesome. And let me just pan down again. I love how they made the sail right here, brick built. So you can just see how cool that looks right there. So now let's take a look at the buildings of Laketown. So here's the first building of Laketown, and it's actually really small, but there's a play feature with it. You can see there's lots of little details, like there's this little weapon rack right here, a fish in the barrel, and the underside right there, which looks pretty cool. Let me just put this flag up right top, and the flag sits right there. And then if you go to the back, you can see there's just this little, I guess, hiding space, but there's a play feature, which I'll show you in a little bit, and not much back room right there. But what you do is there's this little part right here, and you just flick it up, and then it reveals a little hidden part. Kind of reminds me of the Black Gate play feature, which was a very similar set because it was Middle Earth, and it was just $10 off. But still, pretty cool. Really like that little play feature, and it's nice to get more than one building. And here's the second building, probably the strongest building, and you can just see the outline, like the whole part right there, and I'll zoom in right now. And so here's the bottom part. There's a little jail cell, and the play feature with that is that there's this little side part right here, which I'll show right now. And what you do is you just kind of pull it out, and little jailbreak. Nothing really special right there, or you could use this little lever right here, and bam, the little part pops off. Kind of standard. I've seen that in so many sets since like 2008. And back to the front, there's actually a pretty cool sticker right here. I kind of like the printing on there. Let me see if you guys can see it right here. And it basically just shows a lock. So I'm guessing this place has to do with keys and locks because the Laketown master, the master of Laketown, has a key that he's holding. So I'm not entirely sure about that. We'll have to see in the movie. And just there's some really nice snow detail all around the set, and you can see it right there. So that's really cool. And to the back, there's just a little bit of space right here to put maybe a minifigure standing, and then the back of the little jail cell. And there's some more stickers right on the side right here. And now let's go to the top. And so here's the top. There's actually some really nice room in there, and you could probably put, I guess, a minifigure in there, and it fits kind of perfectly. And there's a little desk with, I'm guessing it's a lantern. I'm not entirely sure about that. It looks like it's a lantern at least. And here's the side right here, the little top part. There's another one of those little catapults, and basically what you do is you put one of these in there, and you just have to flick the catapult. So I'll try it just for this one, and once I go back to the front. And here's the front of the top. Very nice detail with the windows and everything, and of course you could open and close them, but I don't want to, let me see. You just gotta push it like that, and I just noticed this one is indented in accidentally. And here's the out part, and you could of course lift up the roof, but not really that much. Kind of reminds me of the Winter Village sets because they usually have this, and more specifically the Winter Village Toy Shop because it's kind of a very similar build to this part right here. And of course I'll show you launching it right there, and there we go. So it does go really far, and I can't believe they're still using these little things, these little catapults, because I always thought these in particular were pretty lame, but who knows. And that's really it for the set, and now it's the final verdict. Overall, I think this set is just excellent. I mean, when I first saw it at San Diego Comic-Con 2013, I was a little bit underwhelmed, but this set itself, I mean, I was kind of reluctant on picking it up today, but even though the interior of the buildings are a little bit small, and it would have been cool to get an alternate Bilbo and maybe another minifigure, I think the rest of the set, the exterior looks amazing on these buildings, and I really love this boat. I think the design on this boat is extremely clever. Reminds me a little bit of something from the Vikings line from 2005, 2006. And then, with all of that said, the best part is definitely the minifigures. Besides the Bilbo, which is the same you got last year, the 4 other minifigures are just awesome. Even Thorin, which you did get last year, basically the same besides his torso, and the torso I think looks really cool. The Laketown guard is just fantastic. I'm glad we're getting him in a polybag, but since we're getting him in a polybag, that means that the only 2 exclusives in this set are Bard the Bowman and the Laketown Master. And with that being said, all of these minifigures are just awesome besides Bilbo. I just think it's fantastic that we get them in this set. 470 pieces for $50 is still exceptional. I think that's still a really good price. And so yeah, that's really it. I would definitely give this set an A, not an A+. There's just a little bit of minor flaws, which I pointed out in the close-ups and right here, but still really just an excellent set. And so yeah, that is it for this review, and I will see you guys later. Bye.